All right, so I am so excited. It's been a while since I've led one of our team Zooms, just me by myself. So I'm so excited about this. So I wanted to lead the first one of the year because I have so much stuff to share with y'all. I'm pumped about 2020. If you're excited too, thank you, Stephanie. Put a 1 in the chat if you're pumped about 2020. You are ready to see what this year has in store, what the Lord is giving us this year. I mean, I have this vision, like I said in the prayer earlier. I have this vision for what God is going to do in and through our team this year. And it's just absolutely insane. And I could go on and on about that. But what I wanted to talk about tonight is running after our goals. And, it's funny because I think a lot of us have an idea of what that looks like. But I really wanted to talk tonight about what it truly looks like to run after your goal and the right way to do it, okay? Because in the past, believe it or not, I feel like I haven't taught you, not the wrong way, but the best way to go after your goals. And so tonight I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. Just some things that I've learned. So if you could, while I'm introing, could you grab a piece of paper, because we're going to use it for something in a second. Even if it's just like a napkin or like a scrap piece of paper, that's okay for now. But if you have a notebook, grab that. If you don't, that's okay. Grab whatever you can so you can jot some stuff down. I forgot to tell you that a second ago. That's my bad. I'm sorry. Okay, so here's what this Zoom is gonna look like, okay? I was praying before, like this morning whenever I was getting this together, because I knew what I wanted to talk about, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to say. And so I was like, God, just like give me like just this revelation of like what you want me to share. And he was like, there's gonna be 4 parts. And I was like, okay, what are the 4 parts? And this just came to my mind is the why, the head, heart, and feet. That's the 4 parts of what I'm going to talk about tonight. And so the why is the first one. And then we're going to talk about the head and like mindset. Then we're going to talk about the heart behind what we do. And then the feet, AKA the action. Okay. So I'm going to break each of those down for you. So the first one, like I said, is the why. This is what we will use our journals and our notebooks, napkins, backs of a cardboard box, like whatever, to jot stuff down. Okay, so we're going to use that first. So on your notebook piece of paper, and I'm going to do this with you for a second, I want you to journal, because here's the thing, like if you don't know why you want this, you are not going to run after your goals. It all boils down to that. And if you don't know your reason why you're doing what you're doing, at some point you're going to quit because you don't have a driving force behind why you do what you do. Okay, so you need to not only know why you want this, but you have to actually envision it happening, because otherwise you won't believe that it's going to happen. There's a difference whenever you work with belief and whenever you don't. Even if you have a why, if you don't truly believe that it can happen, you're not going to take action towards it. Okay, so on your journal, I want you to write down, this is the question. Okay, so answer this question on your journal. What does your dream day look like? And there's no limits. So no questions. Just what does your dream day look like? Like, do you work your job? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Who is, watching your kids during the day? Is it you? Were you able to hire a nanny? Like, what's your dream? Were you able to send them to a top-notch, Christian private school? Or are they in a public school? What time do you wake up in the mornings? Who do you spend your day with? What do you spend your day doing? What kind of house are you in? Are you in the house you're in right now? Are you in a different house? What state do you live in? Are you in the same state you're in right now? Or did you move to Florida because it's your dream state? What does your dream day look like? Every aspect of it. What kind of foods do you eat? Are you able to eat healthy foods? Or, are you able to treat yourself to a nice dinner? Do you have a chef? Do you have somebody that does your laundry for you? I'm not trying to like distract y'all from writing. I'm just trying to get you to think of some things, because I know sometimes for us to dream, because in society we're not taught to dream. And so I want to help you to learn to dream, because whenever people started, asking me about my dream day a while back, I was like, I don't even know what that looks like. And they were like, mentioned a chef. And I was like, I forgot that I could even have that. So I want you to know that like, this doesn't have a limit on it. It's limitless. So whatever you want to do, that's what I want you to write down. So I'm going to give you another minute to do that. And then I have another question. And you may have to come back to it, because you may not have time to write your whole dream day. But figure out what that looks like, and know that that's what you're working towards. Okay, so then the second question is, what is your dream bank account? and there are no limits. So what does your dream bank account look like? Are you a millionaire? Are you a multimillionaire? Do you have a savings account? Do you have a regular bank account? Do you have investments? Do you have savings for your kids' college funds? What does your dream bank account look like? I'm gonna let y'all answer that one for a second, and then we'll ask the next one. Okay, the next question. So the first one was, what does your dream day look like? The second one, what is your dream bank account? The third one is, in 5 years, if you could be doing anything, what would you be doing? If you could be doing any job, if you could be doing anything throughout the day, if you maybe you like opened up your own business and you were able to fund that because of this business. Are you a stay-at-home mom in 5 years? Are you a college graduate working their dream job in 5 years? What are you doing? Are you in grad school in 5 years? What are you doing in 5 years? If you could do anything in 5 years, what would it be? All right, and this is the last question that we're going to do on here. And like I said, if you need to jot down what the question is to go back to it and answer it later, you can do that. But that question that I just asked, if you want me to repeat it, is, in 5 years, if you could be doing anything, what would it be? No limits. All right, the last question that we're going to do, and we're going to do this all together, and I'm going to go back to this screen so I can see y'all. So, okay, what I want y'all to do, and this is going to sound cheesy to some of you, but I promise, just do it, okay? Do it even if it's crazy. So this is what I want you to do. And I want you to do this, like, learn right now, but then go and do it again tomorrow. Because I want this to be a habit for you. And I'm going to be honest, like, this is not something that I do often. And so as I was writing this down, I was teaching myself. I was like, I need to do this more often, because I know that visualization is such a huge part of self-development. And that's such a part that, like, most of us don't do every single day. And so that's something that this year I want to implement in my own life, because I know that's something that I've never done before. And if I want to get somewhere I've never been before, aka ambassador, top 10 income earner, then I've got to do things I've never done, like visualizing. So I want you to close your eyes, and I'm going to walk you through what I want you to do. So everybody close your eyes, and here's what I want you to do. I want you to visualize your promotion. And it's this month. It is the end of January, or maybe for some of you, you're going for a really, really huge promotion and it's super far off. So maybe it's in February, but it is the end of January, end of February. What day is it? Is it January 31st? Is it the 30th? Is it the 29th? Did you just promote on the 25th? Visualize the date. What is the day today? And what does your eSuite say? I want you to go in your eSuite with your eyes closed. Go in your eSuite. Go check TreeViewer. What does it say under previous paid rank? What rank were you paid as last month? And now look where it says current paid rank. Underneath that, what does it say? I want you to visualize the word. What does it say underneath current paid rank? And then I want you to click over in your mind, with your eyes closed on your eSuite, click over to where it says the volume. What is the volume that you have? And be specific, because we know our volume never ends at 5,000 even. Okay, so be specific. What is your volume? And if you're going for Ruby, you know it has to be over 2,000. Okay, so let's be realistic about the numbers that we're hitting for the ranks that we're going for. But let's shoot above and beyond. If you're a Ruby right now on your eSuite, because you just promoted, let's go for 3,000, because why not be above average? Let's get those above average paychecks. If you just went diamond, you have over 10,000 volume. I want you to visualize that. Okay, now I want you to think about, what are you wearing? You just promoted. What are you wearing? Is your hair thrown up in a bun because you've just been working like crazy all day? Are you in your scrubs because you just finished, coming back from a shift as a nurse? Are you in your teaching clothes because you didn't have time to change, you just wanted to promote? What are you wearing? What time is it? And who is the first person that you just called and told that to? You saw you promoted. Who did you pick up the phone and call first? Who did you text first? Imagine your team chat right now and how it's blowing up because you just told them that you promoted. What is everybody saying? Who are some people that you're thinking about that just messaged and said, oh my gosh, congratulations, you're amazing, right? Because we do that all the time. So who is congratulating you? Think about the post that you're going to make. What are you going to say when you promote? What are you going to say on Facebook? What does this promotion mean to you? All right, now I want you to fast forward with your eyes still closed. It is the 8th of the month. It is February 8th, or for some of you, March 8th. What is the paycheck that you just opened when you search your commissions? Down to the penny, what did you just make based on the rank you just hit? Now I want you to pay attention to, how does that make you feel? Are you excited? Are you crying? Are you emotional? Did you just leap out of your seat and you like just ran around the house and you're like, oh my gosh, nobody else is here and I have to tell somebody? How do you feel about that? And then I want you to think what that money is going to go towards. What will that do for your family? And then I want you to add $500 to it and know that that is also possible. Because for some of you, the number that you just imagined in your head was the most far-fetched number and you can't even possibly imagine making that with this business. And I want you to know that I've hit those numbers before and then went beyond that. And I want you to know that's possible for you too. So now you can open your eyes. How do you feel after doing that? Maybe for some of you, that's your first time you've ever done that. You've ever visualized your promotion. Are you ready to like rock and roll? Are you like, let's go? Because I challenge you, and let's make this like a team thing because I need some accountability over here, to do that every morning. What if we made that a part of our day? Like, bruh, I'm just saying. I know, because I had my eyes open so I could pay attention and like think and talk to y'all. And I did see so many of y'all getting emotional. And that made me so excited because for so long, y'all haven't
the millionaires
in that way, and you haven't had that breakthrough where you truly felt it here. Because you can say it with your mouth and you can think it in your head, but if you don't feel it right here, that's the difference, guys. Like that, this is where the promotion starts. Okay, and then we'll talk about the feet later and taking the action for it. But I want y'all to get that why down. Why are you doing this business? And sometimes you have to visualize it to get to that point where you're like, oh my gosh, I just imagined doing something with that money I've never thought about being able to do before. Okay, so put a 2 in the comments if you felt like that helped a little bit. If you feel like that helped you kind of figure out what your why is, if you feel like that helped you visualize something that you've never really seen before and that just gave you like a new perspective and you're excited to go. Okay, perfect. Good. Okay, so the next part, so that was the why. The next section that we're going to do is the head, and I'm going to go back to where it's like speaker view. Okay, perfect. So now let's talk about the head. Basically what I mean by that is like up here, like literal knowledge. So we're going to talk about creativity, okay? Because that is very much a part of this business. And you don't have to be creative like as a person, like where you're artistic. That's not what I mean. I mean getting creative and taking ownership of this as a business as if you were the CEO. Because so many people treat this like a job, which is still funny to me because if we're being honest, some of you would treat this like a job, but you don't show up and still expect to get paid, but you don't get paid if that was a job, right? So I want to challenge you to treat this like a business and take ownership. And with that comes creativity. Think about CEOs. CEO of Domino's. He's coming out with all these crazy tactics, and part of that's his marketing team too. But he's coming out with all these crazy tactics of how to get people to order pizza by fixing potholes on the roads. And like, you know what I'm saying? Have y'all seen those commercials? Just different things like that. That is the type of ideas that I'm talking about. I want you to get creative. Take this as an ownership. Don't wait for me to come out with a promotion or, you know, a script to start doing something for Host to Post. Don't wait on corporate to come out with something for distributors before you'll start messaging to talk to people about joining the business because you don't have any confidence that anybody wants to join for $99, right? Do you see what I'm saying? I want you to start taking ownership and creativity. Couple ways we can do that. So here's a question that I want you to ask yourself. You may want to jot this down and come back to it later and really put some thought into it. But what are some things that you could be doing to reach your goals that you are not yet doing? And it sounds like all of us can write down visualization, including me, because most of us don't really do that every single day. So what are things you could be doing to reach your goals that you are not yet doing? And I'm going to give you some ideas in just a minute, but I want you to ask yourself that. Because maybe for you, it's something as simple as you just simply are not doing any of the work. You're not doing your 6 list. Well, that is the big reason right there why you're not hitting your goals. Okay, so what are you doing? What are you not doing that you could be doing? Now, let's talk about strategy. Okay, because there is strategy involved in this business. So here are some strategic things that you should be doing if you want to promote and if you want to be successful. So jot these down as well. And then maybe these are going to answer that other question, is things that you're not yet doing that maybe you haven't thought about doing or that you just simply haven't done yet and you're not sure why. Talking to your team. How many of you are pouring into your current distributors that you just enrolled because they don't have a clue what they're doing? You know, whenever I first joined this business, I just somehow thought that like osmosis was going to happen and like they were going to join this business. And just because I knew the stuff, it was just going to like somehow just like go into them and they were just going to like know it. And I didn't spend any time teaching my people. I didn't have the trainings that we have now that I've given y'all. We didn't have those, you know, like my enroller didn't give them to me and I didn't create any on my own. And I was just hoping that that would happen, but I know that the people that I first enrolled, they are all gone. And I don't know if that's in part because of me, but I would like to think so because I didn't even train them. You know, I talked to them every day, but I didn't show them how to do what I was doing. I wasn't enrolling customers and then turning around and saying, hey, this is how I just signed those people up. Here's what you're going to do. I want you to go out and message people this. Okay, so maybe that's you. Another one is, do you have your chart out? I did a lot of charting Zooms this last like Friday, Saturday. So if you were on a charting Zoom with me, drop a 3 in the comments. Shout out to you for being there. Literally, we had, I think, 17 or 19 appointments. And we only had 2 people that didn't come, but both of them told me beforehand that they weren't going to be able to make it. Super, super impressed with y'all because I straight up was like, these fools are not going to remember to hop on at like 10:15 on Saturday. But they did, and I'm so proud of y'all for doing that. So thank y'all so much. And the people that said that they couldn't come, we ended up getting people to replace them. So it was perfect. It worked out so good. So I know that the 17 people or 19 or whatever that I talked to in the last like 2 days, I know they've got their charts, but do the rest of you. And I'm not saying that you should have been on the Zooms with me. That's fine if you didn't get on there. But do you have your chart out? Because you can still have your chart out even if you didn't get on the Zoom. And I know a lot of you didn't get on the Zooms because you've got the chart thing down. But do you have it out? And is it updated? That's the key, because some of you are like, yeah, I have my chart out. Okay, but the people that are on your chart, their accounts are canceled. So you have a very, very old chart and no updated volumes. So it's not going to do you any good if you don't even know where you're supposed to be placing volume, if you have no idea where your distributors are supposed to go. Does that make sense? So make sure that you have your charts out. Make sure you're talking with your team. I'm going to give you some examples of different things that you can be doing. So jot these down, and I will put this in the team page too. But jot these down because I don't know when I'll get a chance to put them in the team page, so you may want to have them sooner than later. Couple things that you can do, and I shared this with some of our leaders like last week, I think. And these are some things that you can be doing each and every day for enrollments that maybe you're not thinking outside of the box. Because remember, this is the head section of our Zoom. So get creative. What are some things, if cold messaging is not working for you, have you tried host to post? If host to post is not working for you, have you switched it up, or are you just waiting on me to come up with a clever way to make it different? Or are you just waiting on a different leader to come up with a YouTube video that explains exactly how to do it and just like open up the sky for you? Or are you taking it upon yourself as the CEO of your company to think of, okay, this isn't working, what can we do differently? So a couple different things is, are you doing host to post? If you are, send $10 to Elisa because we have a $200 giveaway, so please enter into that. Are you using messaging on Instagram, messaging on Facebook, asking people to be a distributor, asking people if they want to be a customer? You have to ask. Power's in the ask, okay? So host to post, messaging. Are you sending results pictures? Do you have results pictures? Are you using the products? If you're not enrolling customers, are you, Rachel, if you're not using the products, you're probably not signing customers. I'd be willing to bet, because it's going to be really hard for you to talk to somebody and be like, you should totally get the coffee. And they're like, okay, like, tell me about it. And you're like, well, I've never used it. Actually don't use any products, but a couple of girls have told me that it's really cool and like, you know, like they've lost weight and like stuff like that. So you should get it. I don't use these, but you totally should. Come on. Like, even people at the restaurants, like whenever I was a waitress, they gave me a discount because they didn't want me bringing Wendy's up into the Italian restaurant. Like, they wanted me to eat their food to show the people that were eating there, like, oh, she eats their food, so it must be really good, right? That's why I wore, you know, tennis shoes to work at Finish Line and not stilettos, because they wanted me to market the shoes that I was selling to people. And so that's what you should do with this business. So are you using the products? Do you have results pictures? And if you do have results pictures, or if you're gathering yours as you go, because maybe you're brand new and you're gathering your, you know, before and afters, you're using other people's for now, then are you sending them in your loyal customer conversations? Because that is a huge way I'm getting customers, is every time I talk about a product, they always get a before and after picture. Every single time I send the description. So I challenge you, if you're not doing that, and I've like beaten a dead horse with this one in the last couple weeks, but I found out how many people were not doing that, and that is going to change your enrollments drastically, I promise. Are you using voice memo, or are you just texting? Are you being personal? Are you showing your results? I wrote that one twice, I guess. Are you sharing your story? When is the last time that you told somebody what this business has done for you, or where you're going with this business? How many polls are you doing a day on your story? You're like, oh, once a week? Get creative. Okay, CEO, what are you not doing? What's not working? Oh, I can't sign anybody. And then I go and look and you haven't posted in 5 days and have no stories up. Hello, I know why. You know, like, get creative. Like, I want to challenge y'all to get in your own space where you're like, problem solving, right? Not that I don't want you to come to me, but I want you to take ownership and know that it's on you to be successful, right? It's on you to run for your goals. Are you excited? If you're not, when's the last time you used a product consistently for 30 days? Because that's what gets me excited to share these products. Like this skincare line, oh my gosh. Put I don't know what number we're on, 4? Put a 4 in the chat if you've used the illuminating pads. Because y'all, oh my gosh, Irma Gersh, they're so amazing. So I actually first used them at my dad's house whenever I was there for Christmas, because he had the illuminating pads before I did. So he had like the whole skincare, he's obsessed with our skincare stuff. So I used the illuminating pads last night because that was my first time that I got them. And I washed my face with our cleanser, and then I used the illuminating pads before I did my radiance and my repair. But I did the illuminating pads, and I'm used to using like the, you know, face wash and then like the moisturizers. But when I did the illuminating pads, then the moisturizers, like when I rubbed my skin, it felt different. I was like, whoa, do y'all know what I'm talking about? If you dropped a 4 in the comments, you're like, yes, I know. It was insane. And I literally like was like, babe, oh my gosh, my skin's so soft. He was like, what? I was like, yes. So like you get excited. Like if you're not excited, use the products. I got hyped last night before I went to bed. I was like, I can't even go to sleep. I'm so excited. This is amazing. I love these products. So, okay, have you gone live? I know some of you just like peed your pants. Go live. And side note, I know I've posted this a lot in our group chats and like talked to y'all individually about this, but if you are somebody that is constantly getting blocked and you're like, I send 3 messages and I'm getting blocked. I'm adding 5 people and I'm getting blocked. I'm posting a story or I'm commenting and I'm getting blocked. If that's you, you're probably shadow banned, which is something that Instagram does, and I won't go into what that means, but if you're shadow banned, a couple ways you can get unshadow banned, aka unblocked and stop getting blocked so quickly, is 2 things. You can either promote a post, which is just like paying to like boost a post, but the way that I would do it is to go live. And I'm not talking about an IGTV because it's different. It's a different app, so it doesn't count. You have to go live, like where you swipe up to do a story and it says like normal boomerang live. Click the live and go live about anything. Doesn't have to be the business, but it could be. It doesn't matter. The reason why is because if you're shadow banned, they think that you might be a robot, so they put you on like a block, and so you're getting blocked really quickly. But what a robot cannot do is boost a post and go live. So if you do one of those 2 things, they're like, oh, not a robot. Okay, she's good. I don't get blocked from stuff because I'm active and I'm personal in the things that I do. So whenever y'all are like, I keep getting blocked, I'm like, I genuinely don't know, because that doesn't happen to me. And I'm not some like unicorn special person that Instagram's like, oh yeah, like we love you. You won't get blocked for anything. It's just because I'm being personal. So I genuinely think that if you're being more personal and not robotic, you won't get blocked so often. So go live and do those things that helps your business anyways. But if you're shadow banned, go live in like the next 2 hours. You can get unblocked. Okay. When's the last time you hosted a pop-up? I haven't hosted a pop-up. I'm just saying. I've not hosted a pop-up. Are you getting to events? And I'm not just talking about conference and green carpet. Do y'all see me at events throughout the year? I will say I do that. I have not done a pop-up, but I do get my butt to events. I do not miss events that are in my area. How do I know? I go to the Connect app and I look at the events in my area. You can go on to the events.itworks.com, find the events that are in your area. I do not miss one. You can go to an event for $10 if it's in your area. It's a 1 team 1 mission, or it's called a Try It now. You can go to those for $10, $15. So easy. Are you getting to them? When we have things like Boston, do you go? When we have like little things throughout the year at like, in North Carolina and things like that, do you go? Because you need to be around the fire consistently throughout the year, because a lot of you are like, I'm so hyped. It's January 6th and I'm so pumped up. But where are you going to be in May 6th when you're not pumped up from that conference anymore? Are you going to get to an event that's in your area, or are you going to be, isolated from yourself, like isolated from other people that are running after the same goals, and then not hit your goals and wonder what's wrong with the company? Right? Because so many of us do that, right? So I want you to get to events. Are you following other top leaders in the company that are where you want to be? So many of you look up to Shay, and I'm like, well, what does Shay do? And they're like, oh, no, I don't follow her on Facebook. Bro, why? She has such good posts that would like hype you up or give you ideas for your own posts. Don't copy and paste, but you can get ideas. So are you are your posts focused? Are you posting about like exfoliating peel, probiotics, keto coffee, ketones, keto energy, greens, exfoliating peel, or I already said that one, illuminating pads? Like, are you all over the place? Or are you like keto coffee, celery juice, and Thermophyte X? And then throwing in like, a little bit here and there of like other products that we have, but mostly sticking with the same things. Because most of the people that I sign up are celery juice, keto coffee, or triple threat, or collagen, because I do post a lot about the collagen. That's what I sign. The other thing I'd recommend is talk about the wraps, because most of us don't talk about the wraps, and that is the highest volume product that we have on our website. So why wouldn't we talk about it? Plus, Keto coffee, there's other competition for that out there. Skincare, other people have that. Wraps, nobody has those. No one else sells the wraps or anything close to it. It's patented. They can't. So why are we not talking about the wraps? It just makes sense. And that was something that dawned on me the other day whenever I was talking to Kelsey Thornton. It was probably about a month and a half ago. She was like, why are we not talking about the wraps? I was like, bro, I don't know. But now I've been selling wraps because I have been implementing those too. So if you want to go live about the wrap. Go wrap yourself. And you don't have to wrap your stomach if that's like something you're super self-conscious with. But wrap your arm. Wrap a friend, wrap your husband. I made Derek wrap for me a long time ago whenever we were dating and I had just started this business. I wasn't even a Ruby yet. I was like, I'm about to wrap you. And it just made his six-pack more defined. So let's just all hate him. It's fine. I'm just kidding. But yeah, like you just wrap anybody. But wrap people on a live video. And get excited about the wraps because there's something that nobody else has. And a lot of people don't even know what it is anymore. People think of us as like, oh, you're the company with the keto coffee, or oh, you're the company with the hair, skin, and nails. They don't even think of us anymore as like, oh, you're that wrap company. Let's be the wrap company again. You know, that's the thing that nobody else has. Okay. Follow-up method. Do you have one? If you don't, please go search my video called #follow-up method, or it's like #my follow-up method. Go search that. And I literally did an extensive live video on exactly how I do my follow-ups because I think that that's a real key to why I enroll so many people. Because the fortune's in the follow-up. If you don't have a follow-up system, if you're not following up with people, you're probably not going to enroll as many people as you could be. Because I hear so many people, you're like, I talk to so many people, I just can't seal the deal. What is your follow-up method? That's my question. Okay. Last part of the head section is, are you looking for new ways to learn and grow? AKA, are you taking it upon yourself to do, look at Zooms on YouTube that are other teams recorded? Do you know any other leaders? If you don't, you definitely need to get to events. You need to get around other people. Find leaders that you really love. Go look up their YouTube channels. Go find videos that they've done. Look for ways to learn and grow and try different things. Okay, the last part of your mind is, what thoughts are you feeding your mind? Because there's this analogy of these two lions, okay? The positive lion and the negative lion, and you have both in your head that are going back and forth, right? Positive thoughts, negative thoughts, positive thoughts, negative thoughts. Which lion is going to get bigger? The one that you feed. So if you're feeding the negativity, that lion is going to get bigger, and that's going to become all that you hear is just negative, just crap, all in your head all the time. But if you feed the positive lion, that's what you're going to hear all the time too, is positivity. How do you feed that? You do self-development, and you level up your circle. Stop hanging around negative Nancy's all the time and expecting to live a positive life. You can't. And some of those people are your family, and I get that, my family included, but you can surround yourself, when you have the choice of who you get to be around, if you can be around those people the most of the time that you're around your family, you're going to pick up on those things as negative and know that, like, no, that's a negative thought. I do not receive that. But if you're constantly around negative friends, negative family, negative friends, negative family, you can choose your friends. You can't choose your family. So choose your friends wisely and be cautious about the things that you share with your family, because it's like the parable of the seeds. If you're throwing these seeds where it's like on, like, talking about the different types of soil. One of them is where the crows come and take them and they throw them away or whatever, like they go away with them. That's like whenever you're telling your family all of your goals and you know that they're super negative. Why would you tell them your goals? You know they're not going to support you. So they're only going to make you feel bad about going after your dreams. So why are those the people that you're telling all of that stuff to? Does that make sense? The last thing I want to share on that is a quote that I heard this morning. I listened to a book called Whisper, and it says, declutter your mind. If y'all know me at all, you know I need this book. Hallelujah. I'm glad I'm listening to it. It says, one second. It says, you've reinforced negative thinking by not challenging it. Whew, I thought that was good. So if you don't challenge that negative thinking and call it out for what it is and say, no, this is actually the truth, then you are nurturing that negativity. You either nurture it or you challenge it. You can't be neutral about a negative thought, right? Okay, so that's the last thing about the head. So now let's talk about the heart. So this is going to be really cool. So I know a lot of y'all have seen just a little bit about, like, I don't know, I've talked a lot about what God showed me in 2019 and just like a lot of the things I did right, but a lot of things I did wrong. And Morgan Martin, whoever you are also on here, congratulations on your 30 BB. You're signed in as me, so I'll know who you are. Probably Rachel Simpson if I had to guess. Yes. Okay, girl, I see you. She's always logged in as me, so I just should always know. Okay, so sorry, I'm trying to pay attention. Okay, so one thing that I learned last year was I was really good at teaching burnout. And I'm gonna take a drink of water really quick. So I really like preached working super hard, like work, keep like don't slack, like keep going, like, don't let up, like make sacrifices, do all these things. And all of that is still very true. So I want to be very careful how I present this so that you don't think that I'm telling you the opposite right now, because that's not what I'm doing. But when I worked super hard, it was the end of 2018, beginning of 2019. Okay, so this is around the time that I went presidential and around the time where I found out like what number income earner I was, and I hit my highest paycheck around that time. Okay, I had put that above everything else. I had put this title of top income earner and like the number that I wanted to hit above everything else. It became the most important thing to me. It became what my identity was. And I knew, like, I found out that I was in the top 30. And I was like, if I am number 30, I'm going to be so disappointed. And looking back, I'm like, wow, that's a dangerous place to be, where you put so much stock in what other people think of you. And I know that some of you, this doesn't resonate with you because that's not where you are yet, but bring this to wherever you're at. Like maybe this is even with this business, but where you put your identity in something that isn't of the Lord and isn't of where you're supposed to be and like who you truly are. You put your identity in all these things. Maybe it's being a mom, maybe it's being a top income earner, maybe it's being a diamond, and you put your like stock into that and nothing else seems to matter, and you kind of throw everything else to the wayside and like nothing else is important and nothing else is as important. That's where I was. And I hit the highest paycheck I had ever hit, which was my goal of what I wanted to hit. I did that, like I'd claim the amounts I wanted for like 3 months in a row and hit that exact amount every time. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. But then I hit that highest number and I was like, ugh. Like, I didn't think that was going to feel this way. Like, I thought this was going to feel really good. And I think it was because I had put all my hope in that. And then if you've ever had this like goal and you were like, when I reach this, I'll be happy. Anybody ever had that? Put a 5 in the comments if you're like, yeah, when I graduate college, I'll be happy. When I get married, I'll be happy. When I get a house, I'll be happy. When I get this car, I'll be happy. When I have a kid, I'll be happy. X, Y, Z. Maybe it's with this business, maybe it's not. But then you got that, you hit that goal, you got that thing, and then you were like, oh. Do you know that feeling? Because it's not that that thing isn't great. The husband's great, the kid's great, but that's not who we are. And we're not supposed to be chasing joy in those things. So if we're looking to those things for joy and satisfaction, we're going to fall short every time, because that's not where our joy and satisfaction can come from. And so I hit that point and I had success without fulfillment. And Jim Rohn says success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. That was where I was earlier this year. And that's where it began, the whole entire cycle that I've been through the rest of 2019, where I was just like learning what God really had for me and what my true purpose was, where my identity really was, where I found my joy, where, my priorities really should be. So I want to be very, very clear in this heart section. There will be sacrifice. Okay? Like, just like Mark said in the family call last night, what will you say, what will you have less of to have more of something else this year? Maybe it's less TV so you can have more time freedom to work this business. Maybe it's saying, having less mani-pedi so that you can pay off more debt. Maybe it's less, whatever. So there are going to be sacrifices, and what little things can you say no to now so you can say yes to big things later? There's also, need to be conversations with your spouse and your kids about what these next few months are going to look like with you pushing for promotions and things like that. Like, it's going to be a little different. I was talking to a girl on our team, and I won't say her name just because I don't know if she wants me to say it, but we were talking, and she was like, I'm going for diamond this month, and she's very, very close. She's going to hit diamond, but she was like, I was talking to my husband, and I told him, like, this month I'm going to be grinding. Like, this month is going to be different, and I want to make time for you, but this is going to be different, right? Like, I am going to be working super hard, more hard than I've worked in the past couple of months. And I told her, I was like, make sure though that you do make time for him. And maybe it's not every single day for 2 hours a day, because you do have goals too. And there needs to be a level of sacrifice, but at least once a week you have that time for him, because if not, only the side of you that is grinding and pushing and wanting this promotion is going to be fulfilled. The side of you that needs human interaction and that wants to, level up your relationship with your spouse, that side will be deprived. And that side will begin to resent this business and this company, the work that you're doing, because this side's not fulfilled, and you're only fulfilling the part of you that wants to level up your income and things like that, right? Does that make sense? So you need to satisfy the needs that you have relationally too, because there have been times whenever I have gone for a promotion, I've made myself sick going for the promotion, like literally physically ill, because I didn't get enough sleep, woke up at 6 a.m., stayed up till 3 a.m., and did all those things. And I'm not saying that there may not be a day or two where you actually, do stay up late and wake up early, because that you need to do that, especially at the end of the month, just like getting all the last minute things handled together. But you've also worked consistently up until that point, not just on the last days of the month. But you need to be able to talk to people and not be like, so like, I used to lash out at people, like whenever they would, try to, like if Derek, whenever we were dating, he was like, like, let's do this. I'm like, I can't, like, I'm going for a promotion. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've been in the business a while, that feeling too, but I don't want this to be that for you, because I want you to learn the lessons for myself. I didn't feel fulfilled. Like, yeah, the promotion was great. The money was amazing. It's allowed us to do so many amazing things. We'll make even more money than we've ever made before this coming up year, but I want to do it the right way, and I want to teach you the right way, because I firmly believe that it's better for you to work 1 or 2 hours a day consistently every single day for every day this year than to work for 12 hours a day for 3 days, get burnt out, everything, like your family's pissed at you, you're mad because you don't have human interaction, you don't have your family, you're just like feeling this confliction, and you end up stopping altogether, right? I know so many of y'all have felt that and done that. I want you to pace yourself, and I'm not saying to hold yourself back, but I'm saying if you can be consistent for 1 to 2 to 3, if you do this full time every single day, then you'll be successful, but you'll also feel like you have amazing friends and you have an amazing life and you get to do fun things. Because what's the point of doing this business for freedom if we don't use any time to do things that we want to do? We become a slave to the business that was supposed to give us freedom, and that was me for so long. And I don't want that to be you. And so, yes, there needs to be sacrifice. Yes, you're going to have those conversations where there are going to be times where you have to, go into your office and not do date night. But I don't want your relationships to come at an expense to this business. If what I'm saying is making sense, we all put a 6 in the chat, because I just want to make sure that it's clear, because I'm not telling you don't work, and I'm not telling you to work 24/7. I'm trying to explain both of them to you. Okay, perfect. You can have it all. You can have it all, and I didn't believe that for so long when people told me, but you can. Truly, you can have all of it. I feel like I have the best marriage that I've had my entire marriage now. I feel like my business is doing the best it's ever done. I feel like I'm comparing myself less because I've found my worth in Christ and my identity is in Him, not in the number that I am. Y'all, this year we're probably about to find out like our numbers, and it's not because I haven't worked super hard, but like I know whatever number top income earner that I am, I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. If you had asked me last year, everything depended on that number. And this year, it's not that I don't care, because it's a huge honor and I 100% am thankful for it, but that's not who I am. That number does not define me. That number does not represent my level of growth. Does that make sense? Like, it represents like the BV that we got. It does not represent me as a person. And that is such a drastic difference, y'all. I wish Derek could come in here and tell you that this would not be coming out of my mouth in 2019, January 6, 2019. Not happening, because that was everything. But it's not. It's a really cool thing that I want y'all to shoot for. Please go for that. Please be a top income earner. One of my goals this year is to have 3 of you in the top 150. Shoot for that. I'm not saying don't, but I'm saying that that's not who you are. It does not define you any more than, you know, anything else about you defines who you are. So, trying to think. Oh, the last thing I was going to say about that is, you know, we all try to like say like, we're going to grind and we're going to like go all out for these promotions and stuff like that. And yeah, go all out for the promotions, decide it's going to happen, make those sacrifices, wake up a little bit earlier, get things done before work. Some of you are going for promotions, and you doing your 6 list every single day would be a huge accomplishment for you, because that's not something that you had been doing. So do that. Don't go from doing nothing to doing something for 12 hours a day with this business. It's not even reasonable. It's not going to last. If you have to grind 24/7 to hit a promotion and you stop grinding 24/7, what's going to happen to your business? It's not going to be the same as it was when you were grinding 24/7. You have to grind 24/7 to get there. You're going to have to grind 24/7 to stay there. So why not be consistent and teach your team to do what you're doing and have duplication on your team so that you all work together, you all get to live your life, you all get to work this business with freedom and passion and excitement because you're not freaking burned out and sick of it for years and years and years. And you make more money than you've ever made in your life. Doesn't that sound like something you want to be a part of? Drop a 7 if you're like, yes. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Okay. All right. So that was the heart section. The feet section, super quick, because we only have about 8 minutes. This is the quickest little section anyways. You know what to do. And that's why this is the quickest section. So this last one is feet. Is the action that you're going to take. You know what to do. And that's why this Zoom is not about what to do. Because we're talking about running for our goals. Some of you are probably like, yes, we're going to get some loyal customer and distributor tips. If that's what you came for, I'm so sorry. Because I did not talk about that at all. Because that's not the point. If you can visualize your promotion, you journal out, what does your life look like? What is your dream life? What is your dream bank account? What do your finances look like? If you could do anything in 5 years, what would you do? And you close your eyes and you visualize that promotion. And then you are strategic and thinking as a CEO, what can I do to better my business? What's missing? Where am I missing people? I'm in these conversations and I just can't seal the deal. Oh, follow-ups. Let me go and search for a really good follow-up method. I tried Morgan's and it didn't work. Let me go search on YouTube for some follow-up methods from other top leaders and see what they do until I find something that works. I want you to think like that. And then if you can do those 2 things and you can have your heart right, where you understand that this business is about duplication, not about you doing this all by yourself and grinding 24/7 until burnout, to where you resent this business and to where you don't want to do it anymore and to where you're exhausted mentally, physically, emotionally, every way, and you put this stock and worth in of who you are into this business. If you can avoid doing that and know that this business is about freedom, and you join this business for that, and not to be a slave to it, but to do the hard work, because God can't bless the work that you're not doing. So you do have to do the work. Please hear me say that. But there is a blend to it. It's blending it into your life. It's being able to have all the things. When you do that, the rest of it's going to come. The rest of it will come. How to do it will come when you know why you want to do it. So it's a lot less about the message that I send to get loyal customers and way more about the strategy and the heart that I have and the why and why I'm messaging for customers in the first place. There are so many tips on loyal customers and distributors and Dare to Be Diamond. If you're like, whoa, sister, I need some help with that stuff. It's on Dare to Be Diamond. Go to our team page. There's so many resources for you there. I promise you will have a plethora of information. Go check that out. Okay, but we need to get practical. There's no magic method to this. I was about to say this really casually, and then some of y'all are gonna be like, I was watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians today, and that's my like guilty pleasure go to like trash TV. If you like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, give me a little 8. If you want to tell me who your favorite Kardashian is and get some extra credit, feel free to do that, Chloe. Okay, so anyway, there's no magic method, but one thing, yes, one thing that Kim said today, she said you can't escape the hard work. You can't escape the hard work. And I forget what she was talking about, but they do, like, you can say whatever you want about the Kardashians, but they're some hustlers. They work really hard and they're very great businesswomen. And I used to watch the show so differently than I do now as a businesswoman. And I admire them in a lot of different ways for the things that they do. They give back to their community, and they also are just really great businesswomen. So she said, you can't escape the hard work. I was like, yes, preach, because so many people want to know, Kim, what's the secret to your success? Morgan, what's the secret to your success? Tell us one tip that got you to where you are. It's not one tip, and if I could give you one tip, it's consistency. But there's no magic method. You just have to work hard. You have to do the work. You cannot escape working hard and getting to your goals. You must take action and do the work. That's how you're going to get where you want to go, okay? There's no shortcuts. There's no magic method. There's no magic words. There's no magic potions. You have to do the work. Do the hard things in this business because you were made to do hard things. If you are somebody who works out and you have ever, or you were an athlete in school, and you've ever got to that point where you're like, I literally can't keep going. I cannot keep going. But you took one more step and you're like, oh, wow. Okay. And then, or like, okay, you're working out and you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot, I can't row 100 more meters. But then you do it and you're like, well, wow, like my body is stronger than my mind thinks it is, or like whatever the situation is, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can do it. And then you do, and you're like, wow, I am made to do hard things. Your mind is going to tell you to stop, but you have more strength than you think you do. Your body physically, God created it to do freaking amazing things, especially because I know we have mostly women on here. We do freaking crazy things with who we are. I'm just saying. So, and I'm not even a mom, but like y'all moms for sure. Like y'all do some crazy things. Like we were made to do hard things. So go do the hard things and don't be afraid of them. That's what you were born for. So get out there, do the work with the right heart, with the right mind, know your why, and you can run towards your goals all year long. This isn't about a January run. This isn't about a sprint. This is a marathon. What I want to teach you tonight is not how to get to the end of January. What I want to teach you tonight is how to continue this business for the rest of your life. Because that's where I'm looking. I'm not worried about January. Now, January is going to be freaking amazing, and it's going to make us so much money. We're going to have amazing goals. We're going to be super proud of ourselves, but I'm not worried about January. That's too short-sighted for me. I'm talking about the rest of our life. If you can get these principles down, you'll make it. You'll make it. And you may have a different story. You may have a different journey. You may promote differently. You may promote slower, faster, doesn't matter, but you will make it. And imagine, okay, for the last thing, this just popped in my head. Actually, never mind. I'm not going to do that. But, okay, in the next 5 years, imagine that you are ambassador, making $33,000 a month. And some of you are like, 5 years? Oh my gosh, I wanted to be ambassador in like a year. Okay, that's fine. If you want to go ambassador in a year, go for it. But if you miss that goal, would you still be happy doing this business even though you didn't hit your goal when you wanted to, knowing that you will eventually get there? Because for me, I wanted ambassador a couple years ago. That was my goal, was to hit it in 2.5 years. Well, I just celebrated my 5-year anniversary coming up on my 5.5 year, and I still haven't hit it. But you know what? There's no other place in the world that I can work at for only 6 years and make $33,000 a month every single month and be a multimillionaire. Working from my phone on Instagram, Facebook, doing pop-ups and talking to people about some products without any inventory or overhead. What? Like, would you be happy if you were able to do that in 5 years? 5 years ago, I was 21. That's not that long. That is not that long ago. So much has changed in 5 years. Think about where you'll be in 5 years from now with this business if you don't quit. Think long term, guys. Stop worrying about January. Yeah, do the work for January, but where are you going to be in 5 years? Stick stinking with it. That's all that I have. Okay. Love y'all so much. Thank you for